Alright guys, today we're back with another video on the Infinity Game Table from Arcade1Up. Today we have an exciting video. We have another video in August. We have some new things to go over. We have Monopoly got a nice new update on the current game that's there, so we're going to talk about that and what new changes came across to that. We have Yahtzee that got a nice update as well. Even though Yahtzee was already here, they added some changes to Yahtzee for the better. And then we have two new games that released this month. Or not this month, because we got a couple last week if you guys saw my previous video, but this week we've got two more releases. One is fun, and one is probably my least favorite game on the Infinity Game Table, which we're definitely going to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with Monopoly, the first game we're going to be talking about, and they added a major change to this game that we're going to be taking a look at now, which is the board on the actual game that you're actually playing. So if we just select a couple of characters here, you'll see a completely new board that we're going to be taking a look at here. A lot more variety into it, a lot more animation, a lot more going on, as we'll see here in a second. So there it is, guys. It is a new Monopoly 3D board, so I think it looks fantastic. You got a little train. Where is he? See the little train going around the track there? So you can see a little train is going along the board. Each of the areas, of course, color-coded to the area of the board, and has even different things. So, you know, the boardwalk area has a little Ferris wheel going on over there. You got the train coming along, and he keeps looping around as you're playing continuously. So they definitely added, you know, some really cool stuff to the actual look of the board. You know, so it's not just a plain-looking board. You can actually see some 3D animations. It makes the game feel more alive as you're playing Monopoly, and different than what you can get if you just play the base game of Monopoly at a board. You got some 3D animations here, so this looks really good. I really like the update. I like the changes in Monopoly, and if for some reason you guys want to not play with that when you play a game, and you don't like that board, you could go into the house rules. And you can see classic board there. So the city in the center is removed. So that city I just talked about, if you want to just go back to the classic board, the option is there if you want to revert back and not see that anymore. But I think it's fantastic, and that's probably the way I'll always play from now on. So Yahtzee's another one that got a pretty good update as well. I actually talked to them a couple of days ago because there was a bug that I found when playing with 5 players, and they went above and beyond just fixing the bug. The bug has now been corrected, but now unexpected is they actually updated this game to actually look a lot better and you know, more appeasing to the eyes, basically, kind of like just how Monopoly was done. So if you guys are familiar with how Yahtzee looked before, and if you're not, you can see my video. This is now the board of Yahtzee. So before it was just a plain area where you were just rolling dice. Now you got the little Yahtzee symbol, you got the nice green texture in the center, you know, with the actual board. So it looks a lot nicer and a lot good to stare at. It's not plain looking anymore. And all of these are nicely color coded, so you can open up all the players that you're playing with on each corner as you're playing, and this just looks a lot better. I haven't ran into the bug before where these player shields were doing some weird issues when you were playing with it, and that's all been corrected, it seems, from all the testing I've done with it. And yeah, now it just looks fantastic and plays just as good as it did before, but now it just looks a lot nicer, and player boards stand out nicer with the different colors and stuff, and they did a good job overlaying Yahtzee on how it looks now. So really good and nice job on the update on Yahtzee. One of the new games that they added today to the Infinity Game Table is Mini Finny Foosball. So you got a solo mode, you can play against the AI, or you can also play versus. So we're going to do solo for here, but you can play this with someone else. And then, of course, you drop the ball in the center. It tells you what to do. You tap the ball, you see that you're playing against the AI, and you're basically moving this. And you could say I just got scored down real fast. But you can see you can move all these things here all at the same time, trying to score a goal. There's a goal for me. So this actually works a lot better than I thought. This would definitely be a fun little game to play, you know, on the Infinity Game Table. And I just lost. Against, you know, another person. You know, when me and my wife played this and stuff, we had a good time going back and forth. My guy's not in the center of the goal like he should be, so I'm getting wrecked here. But yeah, these are the kind of games that, even though they're not board games, as long as they're, you know, they're done pretty well and it's fun and it has 2-player options so you can play, and they're done well, like this one, you know, they could be fun. Just because they're not board games doesn't mean we can't get a little bit of variety with certain mini games. And this one works pretty well, and there's some fun to be had with this one. You're not going to play it for hours on end or anything, but it's a fun little game to play against somebody on a table like this, and I think it definitely deserves a spot. That was a nice little save there. Leave it off right there. And he hit the post, and then I got scored on. But yeah, this game is a really fun and good way to actually do it, and as opposed to the opposite of the game that I'm about to show you now. So this game here is called Yakuza. Yakuza, I think is how it's pronounced. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But basically, it's a sumo game. And you can see it also has versus and solo, just like that mini foosball game. But this, unless if I'm missing something completely, and somebody can let me know in a comment if I'm completely missing something here. But to me, it seems like this game controls completely random. And there's not actually any control of the character. So basically, you're supposed to use this to move, and I am the red person, and this to hit. And I just got smacked because I wasn't paying attention. But this is basically what you do. You tap this button, and then the guy kind of shoots forward. And you can see, to me, like, I have no control over my character. Like, moving the angle of where he's actually going from doesn't seem to actually work very well to me. It's not... It's my least favorite game on the table. It's not like, you know, the worst game ever made or anything, but it's definitely my least favorite game on here. Probably a game I wouldn't play that often, because it just seems like I don't really have great control over my character. He's just kind of hopping around, and he just went straight out. So maybe I'm, like I said, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe other people can tell me if I'm wrong, if they're controlling this game a lot better than I can, but to me, it doesn't seem like a game that I'm, you know, really happy with the way that the characters control. But, you know, somebody might have fun out there. You know, I'm sure kids and stuff will have fun with this one, trying to smack each other off the board, which I'm sure was their intention. But, you know, sometimes you get your character huge, like by eating these little pieces of food, which is the intent. You're supposed to go around and grab these little food items. But you can see right now, I'm just standing there not doing anything, and he hit me like 5 times. And look how big he is. How is he not knocking me off the board? How is it that I'm that small and he's that big, and I still knocked him off the board? After all that food he ate, he stood again. I don't know. Like I said, it just feels completely random with how is that guy like 5 times the size of me, but I was still able to knock him off the board. Like, it seems like you're picking up all this food to get bigger, but it doesn't even take any effect to what the game is actually doing to me. But like I said, my least favorite game on the Infinity game table, but they can't all be winners. Every other game that they've come out with, I've at least liked a little bit, but this one's just not for me. But it did come out this week, so you guys can check it out and let me know if I'm completely wrong on the comments below. But yeah, that was the summary of the games that came out today for August. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That gave you an overview on all the games there. They did a fantastic job with Monopoly, the 3D board, as we talked about. I think that was a great update. Makes the board feel more alive. Cool that they left the option to go back to the classic board if you want to. Yahtzee was great. You know, there was a bug that I found that I let them know about a week ago, and then they go ahead and they revamped the whole entire thing with the update. The bug is now fixed, and we got better player shields in front of you. The board is laid out better, more colorful, more interactive. So really good job on the Yahtzee update that they did there. And then they had mini foosball, which I think is a fun 2-player game. It works well, controls well enough, and it's definitely a fun game to have on here, even though it's not a board game or anything. It's still a fun tabletop game to be able to play on a screen this large against another person, so that one is fun. But then that sumo game, that is just not my jam on the Infinity game table. That is probably my least favorite game on the table. Like all the other ones I'd probably play again, that's probably one I'll probably not play again, unless if I see an update come out to it and things change for the better. But as you guys saw in there, like it seems like the player's not controlling how you think it's going to control. With the way you can move your character, it seems like it's kind of controlling on its own, and the whole point is to eat those pieces on the board, and you eat them and you become huge like you guys saw in the video, but I could still knock that huge guy off the board. So what was the point of me being 5 times the size, eating that thing and grabbing all those pieces if I could still knock you off the board regardless, as if I had the same power? It just seems like it's very random and very doesn't seem to make a lot of sense with what the game is happening, and I just don't think it controls like you. It doesn't feel like you actually have control of your character. It feels like you're just mashing the button to go forward, so it like hits the other person, and you're just waiting to see what happens. So, you know, it could have been a fun game. It could be still if they update it. Sumo wrestling 1v1 type of game is not a bad idea on this table. I just don't think it controls well at all, and the ideas of the food thing just don't seem like they make sense to me. But lucky for me, that's probably the only game I really dislike on here that I wouldn't probably play again. All the other games that I've shown in the past, you know, I do like, and all the updates that they did to Monopoly and Yahtzee were good. So, guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like the video so you guys don't miss any notifications. If you guys like videos like this, I'll of course be doing more as we get new games that everyone's waiting for, like Ticket to Ride, like Pandemic. You know, all these other games that are going to be coming down the pipeline for this table that we all want to see. I'll be doing an overview of those as well. So if you guys have any questions about what you guys saw in today's video, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.